What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Live Before Lock is here. It's 5:30. It's Monday. We've got TST. We also have SORARE NBA squad join us. How are we doing, gents?
Pretty good. Getting ready for the lock.
Doing well.
There we go. We had to beef up the Live Before Lock squad because TST and I have been playing in the limited rare street, so we needed to get some super rares in here, so some actual expertise. If this is your first time joining, welcome. Thanks for being here. Like the stream, subscribe. You can find all of our stuff in the show notes. So you can find a link to our Discord, the YouTube channel. Or you're at the YouTube channel. If you haven't signed up for SORARE yet, do that. All those things. But the more important reason that you need to, the more important thing you need to do right now is like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag TST into the chat. And as always, right, we're automatically giving away a limited tier card here. But if we get up to 200 live viewers, we're going to boost that thing up to a rare. We were already cooking. We were at 72, but I was greedy today. I put on monetization. So everybody got booted for ads right now, and then they'll come back. But I think 200 is today. I think we're hitting it today. But let's, what I'm going to do quickly is just go over some of the injury situations that we're monitoring while you guys type in TST, and then we'll dive into the slate. We're over here at Underdog. So Ja Morant is a pretty important one. He's questionable. I feel like he's playing. It seemed like it was pretty low. Like it seemed like a rest day when he missed on Sunday. So LeBron, they did rule out. Russ is probable. The Lakers are missing a ton of people now because Troy Brown Jr. is out as well still. But they got Russ probable. Keldon Johnson's out. Jakob Poeltl is available. Steven Adams is questionable. Marcus Smart has already been ruled out. And RJ Barrett's doubtful. A couple of things for Tuesday too. So, also, hell yeah, we get a new VIP in the house.
Yeah. Ruled in.
With the VIP was ruled in.
Yeah.
A couple of things for tomorrow, though, that already popped up. So Joel Embiid is questionable and PJ Tucker is probable. So anybody that was like, hell yeah, baby, we smashed that Paul Reed over the weekend. Paul Reed is going right back into no man's land. I feel like Montrezl Harrell might even be a little risky now, too, with Embiid back. And the last thing that popped up so far is Steph Curry is probable tomorrow.
Wow.
Steph Curry is making his return.
Ooh.
So for all you Jordan Poole bag holders, I hope you get off them. But yeah, so that Paul Reed is staring Mike down hard right now. I know. Well, listen, I'm also upset at Paul Reed. All right, enough of that. One other thing in the show notes, we're going to be using Momentum Labs projections over here. So we'll take a look at that. If you want to follow along, go ahead, sign up to be a member, all of that fun stuff. But before we go projection diving, any like big picture stuff for this slate? Both, I guess we'll start with SORARE NBA squad and then TST. But for this slate in general, anything sticking out right now?
Other than the injuries, I don't. There's a lot of teams with only one game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like we had more weekend games this weekend than normal too, and so everybody but like the Celtics who are playing like 11 games this week. It feels like they've got 3. I don't know. What about you, TSC? Anything sticking out?
I'd say like the Lakers on the injury front is like the most intriguing for game 1. But I mean, this is always like what we come back to too. It's like when they have multiple games, like what we know now is great for the first game. So that's usually better for like your lower level players that that are finally going to get some minutes and those low cap players. But it doesn't mean that LeBron's out both of them. So those players that normally produce might also produce in that other game. So I'd say that's probably the one that's most interesting. I guess like Marcus Smart being out is a little interesting with Boston as well. For like Peyton Pritchard, Derek White type people.
I think Brogdon too. Yeah.
I think some of the Grizzlies guys could be like low key good. It looks like Adams is questionable. Brandon Clark is out. I could see like some of those, maybe like Aldama or like
because somebody asked this morning about Xavier Tillman getting some minutes, and I was like, "Good, is he?" But if all of those guys are out, he will. I think. I mean, we were talking about it offline. I think taking shots on stuff like that is always pretty sharp. Tom Walker too saying I like Triple J in the chat. One thing about LeBron too, I because it was funny when that news came out, I was like, oh man, I can't play him in my limited champion because like that's my brain immediately does that. I'm like, oh no, you can still. Like, this is clearly a rest situation where he played both games in a back-to-back. Like, I imagine he's going to be back and ready to go for the second one. Same thing with Embiid, man. I can't remember how many games the Sixers have, but if they have 2 games and you're sitting on an Embiid, I don't hate taking.
Yeah, LeBron on one game is still smashing too. Like, he's just been crushing it.
He's been a monster. All right, so I see some questions coming in the chat too. What we're gonna do first is go through some of the projections, see if anything's popping, and then we'll do some like rapid fire questions as we go. But we're gonna start with some of the projections. We're gonna head over to Momentum Labs. Also, if you're just joining, we only have 63 entrants. What the hell are you doing? Like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag TST into the chat. Let's start at the bottom here with the projections. I know we had already talked about like Peyton Pritchard. I think Peyton Pritchard is kind of intriguing, like you said, TST, mainly because I just don't see a world in which they like ride Malcolm Brogdon pretty hard for 3 games. Just because that dude loves to get hurt. And if Marcus Smart's going to miss all of those games, I do feel like a cap of 4, like he's probably going to play like 16 to 18 minutes anyways. But if somehow one of Brogdon or White sits, I feel like all of a sudden he's playing 25 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was planning on playing him anyways because they had 3 games. Like I use him as like a kind of like a punt to get someone high into limited contender. So like this news was just like smash for me, and I have 2 of them just because I won one as a reward as well. So I might sell one of those actually right now.
He's a huge Pritchard guy, man.
Yeah, Oregon fan.
Yeah, and then down here too, like I mean, this is not like yes, he's got a cap of 3 and a projection of 4, awesome. But Agbaji though, who I know, I'm Agbaji. I'm sure I'm doing a bad job with the pronunciation from Utah. I don't know. Do anybody else down here? I know we talked about Pritchard, but any of these other cheap guys, even Frank, Nicolina, JT Thor, does anybody stand out to you guys?
I actually sold my super rare JTA for like $100 like 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty like tilted about that.
Hell yeah.
Because I just thought that guy would like never get time, but I actually think he's like a reasonable play.
I like him as a play too.
I think Cornette maybe too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the reason for Cornette too is if like do you think they play Horford and Robert Williams a bunch in 3 games, and so like
I mean Horford always sits 1, right?
Right, Horford always sits 1, and they've been so cautious with Williams' minutes. So yeah, I'm fine with that as well. JTA, I was a little nervous about until Troy Brown got ruled out again, and then LeBron got ruled out. They got to play somebody. So
the problem with JTA though is he just like
exercise.
He just doesn't get it done. Like, I mean, the other night I think he had a decent game, but
yeah, he gets to 20 because he picks up some blocks and steals here and there.
Yeah.
What about
he has it in him.
What about Agbaji over here in Utah? I know he like kind of lucked into some minutes the last couple of games. I shouldn't say lucked into him, but I feel like he benefited from some foul trouble. But does he stand out at all to you guys, or moving away from it?
I don't mind him as like if you're gonna take a stab at him this week, that like if they go into tank mode, I think he's like ripe for a lot of minutes. So
100%.
I think we're gonna see him pop at another point in the season. So if you want to like take a stab at him, and like I don't think he's like his price has gone crazy, so like you might actually get him at decent value in the long run.
Yeah, I don't hate that. JT Thor, whatever, dude. I'm not playing anyone on Charlotte of the cheapos that's not Mark Williams. The other guy that should come up too, I know we already mentioned Luke Cornette, who I do kind of like, and he's projecting pretty well. Is Jabari Walker, who I know was like big talks over the weekend because they were like, oh, all these guys are questionable for Portland, and then everybody ended up playing. But I still think he's probably fine if you have him. I just like wouldn't go out of my way to like buy him.
Yeah,
that's where I landed with him. Let's see. Anybody else down here? Max Christie, I know is going to get a little boost because of all those guys being out. Kendrick Nunn, same thing. The Lakers situation is kind of gross. I mean, like I just would like to have Russell or Thomas Bryant and then call it a day.
I think Kendrick Nunn is like an amazing play in 8.
Yeah. I think I have such a bias that I hate him.
I hate him too. I don't think he's a good player, but I mean,
yeah, he's giving 2 buckets. He looked good last game. I mean, he was hot off the bench. And like for what is nice about the situations down here with these low caps, they don't have to do much, right? A cap of 8. I mean, he gets 10 real life points and he's going to get there. Scrolling up here, and you guys just feel free to jump in whenever. Jaden Hardy, I know, has benefited over the weekend with Luka missing some time. I don't know. I know Luka's probable. Is there a chance that Spencer Dinwiddie misses a game now because like they're just like resting
because they leaned on him so hard?
Yeah.
I don't like the Jaden Hardy swing without the Luka news.
Yeah.
Like I need like for him, like when Luka's like there, he doesn't get any burn unless it's like blowout. So if you're like taking that angle, maybe, but I don't like that without the certainty, and they play Tuesday, right? So like we won't know. So I don't like that swing without knowing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a fine dart throw, but I'm not like super stoked about it. I don't know. Down here, I mean, like Joe Ingles, I feel like continues to project really well. I feel like at some point he's going to give us like a 25, 30-point performance. And let's see. Well, THT, who is out for the Jazz that THT is projecting well? Did I miss something there? I feel like THT hasn't played in like a very long time. I don't know if
I think he played last night?
Yeah.
I think he had some. Yeah, he got in there. I don't know what they have going on though.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put him in the Kendrick Nunn zone. The Miami situation though, Orlando Robinson, if Bam is going to miss time, it doesn't sound like Bam's going to miss a lot of time, but he might miss a game or two. And they seem to like Orlando Robinson. He continues to get run. So I think that's fine. And because Dwayne Dedmon's a little scary to me, I feel like they don't push him too much on the minutes. And Jovic is down. He's inactive. I believe he's hurt and missing some time. So I don't know. I don't hate Orlando Robinson.
What about what is it, Highsmith?
Oh, Highsmith. Yeah. I don't know if Highsmith was projecting as well, but
I know those guys like at the beginning of the season were just crushing.
Yeah, they have him as his cap's a little high, and they have him as a
run for the Heat.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't hate taking a shot on that too. I think Robinson seems to be a little bit safer. We saw Taurean Prince come back this weekend. I just want to get us up to 20, and then we can start hitting some
What's Dedmon's cap at actually?
I think it's 11. Yeah, he's got a cap of 11 and a projection of 13.5 there.
I don't hate that.
No, I feel like that's
because I think he's like updated to probable now.
Yeah, he is. And then Terrence Mann is going to project well again too, because the Paul George hamstring situation, and Terrence Mann is just out there a lot. Seth Curry. Oh, let's talk about the Nets situation too, just for a second. So KD is going to be out for a month. It looks like now. Wow. It started as 2 weeks.
Good for me. I got Kyrie.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. So, I mean, obviously Kyrie gets like a huge boost. I actually don't know how much of a boost Ben Simmons gets, because it's not like he loads up on offensive stats anyways. But I was wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on like how that KD hole is filled, both from like the starting rotation, but also like how that affects the bench? Does anybody like stick out for you guys?
I mean, well, I've been watching like quite a bit of Nets games, and like Kyrie just goes off every time Durant comes out of the game.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be like really crushing it.
Yeah, he's going to be.
But the problem with him is his cap is like pretty high. You kind of he's like 45, I think. So
yeah,
you either have to put him in your MVP or like find a low cap guy. But Kyrie obviously is very good. Maybe like a little mix of like, I think like Utah will get like a little more play. I mean, that's a spot where everyone's just going to benefit, because you're taking out like 30 points and like 30-something points, 10 rebounds, bunch of assists.
Yeah.
Like TJ Warren too is kind of.
Oh yeah, he should be big. Yeah,
he's been playing better of late too, and he's a player that like can kind of do his best KD impression in that he can create his own shot and everything. But you might see Joe Harris or Seth Curry go off. Like if they're shooting it well, they'll run some stuff for them. So I think it's just more shots to go around to everyone, and like Kyrie
probably becomes a little bit better of a play.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody that's already in the rotation gets a boost. Like I wouldn't get weird with like Cam Thomas or even like people are asking about Markieff Morris. I'm gonna have to see Markieff Morris before I believe it. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to get him into a lineup. But I do love the Utah call. I think is great. I think Joe Harris, Seth Curry. I think like all of those guys. There's just gonna be more shots. I do think like I don't think the shots are gonna be as clean as they once was. That was like my one concern with Utah. Like just because it was pretty nice for him to just be like wide open in the corner when you got KD and Kyrie on the floor. But he's still shown that he can put up stats. So I think he's my favorite. Him and TJ Warren are probably my two favorites, because TJ Warren, they were already leaning on a little bit as like their sixth man. I
might like Seth Curry a little more than Utah, but
I kind of probably agree with that.
All right, well, guys, you know what? I was really excited about Utah. I own Utah, so let's pump him.
I also own
the show.
He's super rare.
I'm a big.
All right, let's I'm gonna get to the cap of 20, and then we'll start hammering some questions into the chat, so get those ready. Also, just a reminder, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag TST. We're up to 93 entrants, 123 people here, which means we need 77 more to get to that rare tier. We usually hit like 160 in the next 15 minutes or so, and that's when we got to get over the hump, okay? So, all right, let's see. Anybody else here? We've got – this range kind of feels like a dead zone. I mentioned this on the value hunting show today, Jayshawn Tate. One thing, I don't think he's a good play this weekend. I don't think anybody should be playing Jayshawn Tate. But one thing I noticed is they are using him as like their backup point guard, which is surprising because that is not what he did before. He used to just be kind of like 10 points, 8 rebounds, like almost every game. That's what he would do, which is like fine. But if he's going to start facilitating offense on that garbage team for their second unit, I kind of like that down the road. So just want to like shout that out a little bit. But I don't know, anybody else in that 18 to 20 range? I mean, there's TJ Warren we just talked about, but this seems to be kind of a dead zone.
Yeah, looked like there were a lot of better plays in this zone the last couple of weeks, but it seems like a lot of the guys' caps have caught up.
Yeah, it sucks. It's really hard. All right, we'll start hearing. Let's start getting some stuff from the chat here to see if any questions come in. Ghost says, "Remember Bubble TJ Warren, the best player in the league. He was the best player in the league. I mean, that run was insane." People are asking about Robert Williams. Yeah, we can check him out. I don't know if he's going to project super well, but I do think a lot of Williams. Why didn't I write his first name? Oh my God, Mike. All right, here we go. Cap of 22, projection of 25. Actually, that's a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. I also think like there's talk that they might extend his minutes a little bit. Probably not for all 3 games, but I don't know. If you see him get up over that 30, 32, 35 minute mark, I feel like he can like rack up blocks and steals in quick fashion.
Yeah, I like him like in the next month, 2 months. Like I feel like he's just going to continue to play better and he can put up some big games on that cap.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so there we go. Yeah, and Weisberg saying Time Lord's going to be starting soon. Oh, my money on Royce for the Nets. Yeah, Royce is going to continue to do what he does. I don't love him just because of his upside. Is pretty limited unless he gets super hot from 3, but he does enough. Like he's not going to kill you either. Jalen Williams, Barster, are you talking about the big Jalen Williams or like the less big Jalen Williams?
Will.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the big man. So he's got a cap of 9 and a projection of 12. I don't know. Do you guys have any takes on like the front court of OKC? Because it feels like it's just a minefield.
I think it's a if you have him, you definitely play him. I think he's really expensive right now. I mean, I'm playing super rare, so I know like you can't even really buy it like these guys when they're spiking, but I mean, he's a reasonable play. OKC is very, very confusing and unpredictable with their rotation.
They really are. Like I mean, Muscala was a ghost for a while, and then all of a sudden he dropped 40, and then Jalen. Yeah, it is really.
They got like all these guys. They got like Amarui comes in. They've got like sometimes they'll go small. Like I had Poku for a while, and like he was the most frustrating because like he would play 9 minutes and then score like 50 the next game. And I'd always play him when he'd have 9 minutes and then bench him the other one.
Yeah, there we go. It goes to saying Kenrich too. Like Kenrich is probably my favorite. Yeah. All out of all those. I don't know. TST, have you been messing around with the OKC front court, or you just like stay away?
I had Jeremiah Robinson Earl until he got injured, and he was like when Poku went down, he was probably the one that was benefiting the most at the very beginning because he kind of slid into that starting spot. So after he went down, I feel like that's when we've seen the like. Oh, like let's throw this guy out here tonight. Like I mean, obviously Jalen Williams has been the one that like has probably consistently got the most from him going down as well. But like it's kind of, like for me, it's very like look at them if you have them, but I wouldn't be like searching them out just yet. I mean, from a long-term play, like Jalen Williams is going to get time. Like if they go to tank mode at all, but like that's like. What is your opinion of OKC going into tank mode is more
no way. They're going into playoff mode, baby. They're going into playoff mode. They're getting that play-in game. All right. Thoughts on Javon. Wait, hold on. I saw actually another thing that I wanted to hit. THT got ruled out, so we don't have to worry about THT anymore. Saw that Mitchell had low points last game. Is there a reason? Is Garland attractive? I mean, it depends what you're into. I think a lot of people would consider Garland to be a pretty attractive man. So totally dealer's choice. Yeah, I think they're both good. It definitely limits their upside though, right? Like when you have both of them, like Mitchell's probably not scoring 71 with Garland there, and Garland's probably not going for 50 and 20 with Mitchell there. But I mean, I think they're still fine plays. I don't know. What are you guys doing with Cleveland?
I have Garland and Mobley, and I've had them all season. And I'm like, always want to play either. If I have Mitchell or Garland, I always want to play them when the other one's out. I think they're still like a fine play.
Yeah.
With the other end, maybe not like optimal, but yeah, I wouldn't like shy away from putting either of those guys in.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm imagining Garland or Mitchell's cap must be up there though, right?
Yeah, let's pull up Mitchell. I'm sure scoring 70 screws things up a little bit. Yeah, he's got a cap of 45 and a projection of
too bad, but yeah.
Yeah, and then Garland has a cap of 37 and a projection of 35. So there we go. I saw someone in the chat was asking about Javon Carter. I think he's got a cap of 14 and projection of 12. I think with Holiday back, that kind of limits a little bit of his upside. He's
been bad lately too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get that cap under 10 again. That was fun.
Yeah.
TST Tomas, shout out Tomas, is asking about Fred VanVleet. How are we feeling about our Raptors? Who are we mad at? Who do we like?
Okay, so the good thing is that even when we suck, Nick Nurse will just play our guys 40 minutes. So even when we suck and even when we're out of a game, we always come back just to lose it at the end. So he doesn't like empty his bench like other teams might. So like that's good for SORARE. But as a Raptors fan, it fucking sucks. I'm looking for Scotty Barnes to do something this week against Charlotte, and hopefully he can just like kind of like, be big inside. But like I've like Fred kind of all year, his cap's kind of been too high for me to really like try to fit him in.
I can't figure that out too, because I feel like he's had one good game. Like, how is his cap being propped up right now?
What is his cap right now?
I think it's like 40.
Yeah,
43.
like
I feel like he's had a few, like I think 60 plus. Now it's up there. He was in the 30s, like
he was like high 30. Maybe he was actually mid like 34, I think, 1 week or whatever, and then he's just been climbing kind of since that.
Yeah, he was really good for a couple of weeks. He had like a bunch of, maybe not a bunch, but he had a few of those like plus 20 something.
Yeah. His problem too is that like even when he has like he doesn't tend to have the like bad game in between. He'll have like the average game like meet his cap and then exceed his cap. So it's like getting his cap to keep creeping the whole time. Scotty
Barnes, on the other hand, goes like 50 and then like 10.
Yeah, right. Keep that.
He's been good. I have him in rare and he's been doing really well.
Yeah.
Sean was asking Jalen Brunson or Jamal Murray. They both project pretty similarly. You can see them close to each other here with a cap of 36, projection of almost 40, and then a cap of 34, projection of 37.5. I don't know, for you got Brunson feels like way safer than Jamal Murray. Just because
I like Brunson,
yeah, and I mean I love Jamal Murray, but we haven't seen him string together a bunch of great games in a row yet. So I
like the upside of like a point guard who just has the ball in his hand all game.
Yeah.
I like him at that mid 30 cap. Like that's a nice spot that like Brunson can easily he could have a big game and overperform that. When he starts to creep up near the 40s, it's tough to justify fitting him in. But in that mid 30s and that creeps down, like sometimes it gets down to like the 33 range.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he's like a great play, I find, because he's definitely has the upside having that much usage.
Yeah. I saw Coach Stark. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, Coach Stark. I know you just got here with Ja questionable, the Tyus Jones thoughts. We're NBA squad. You're running him out, right?
I'm running him in Conchar, but I don't actually think Ja's gonna miss. I'm just hoping for a blowout or I could see them resting him. It is the Spurs.
That's true. They might just be like they have no Keldon
Their game
Johnson.
starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, so maybe we get the news in time.
Yeah. I think I would bank on him playing. Like if you're playing Tyus Jones, you're going to be okay with him with Ja being in.
I don't have great options, and I just want to put out a lineup that I think like if everything goes right, I can smash.
Yeah.
And maybe my projection isn't amazing, but having that upside ability. And I think Tyus is on like a 22 or something. Even if Ja plays, he's not going to like kill you.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. I think he's got like an incredible ceiling if he misses, and then like a fine floor if he.
But if he ends up in the mid 20s, you're gonna need to hit your other 4 spots pretty good to win a reward. So
Yeah, I'm sorry too, TST. I know you go first, TST. What's up?
Is Bane still like is he still like 30 or low 30s? Because
man, I wanted to buy him. He's still low 30s and he's projecting at like a 40 or something.
Yeah. He Ja sitting out. Like I feel like didn't he get like 8 or 9 assists last game with?
He just put up like a 21 and 10, I think.
So he could like kind of take over a lot of the ball handling. So that might limit Tyus a little bit. Not to say it's not a good play, but it might be one of those situations where we kind of always look for like who's filling the shoes versus who's like
what I think is
filling the usage.
Yeah, I
think it's really strong to own Tyus and Bane because if Ja ever goes down and you play both of them in the same lineup, you're just
God.
I've been trying to buy Bane for that reason.
Yeah, I love that. Wait, there was something I missed too. I totally missed. I knew Jalen Duran was out. I missed that Bojan Bogdanovic was out. So I imagine that's like Sadiq Bey, Alec Burks type situation. Maybe even Jaden Ivey gets a little bit of a boost too.
Yeah, Bojan puts up like big numbers across the board. Pretty big numbers. Not big, but like that's
big for Detroit.
Yeah, and I think everyone just assumes Sadiq Bey is the next guy, which Sadiq Bey is like the next guy up, but I don't necessarily think that means Sadiq Bey gets all those shots.
Yeah, I don't think he like is that much of a like creator or like a high usage guy. He kind of just sits there and shoots threes.
And then I'm gonna fall down this road again.
I like Killian Hayes, honestly, but
yeah, hey, that's a good call. So I just was checking Ivy's cap of 23. Man, it's just so enticing because you're like Ivy can get 40, but like once every 2 weeks.
I've been playing him every week, and it's been like, it's not like he usually gets above his average, but he hasn't put up like a ceiling game in months.
Yeah. A couple of things. Andrew's saying, is it a big hit to DiVincenzo with Curry back? I also just saw an update. So he was listed as probable. Now it's like officially listed as questionable, but I would imagine he gets some minutes. I think you're probably okay with DiVincenzo for like 1 game back because they're probably not rolling him out for 40 or like 35 minutes right away. But I do think like overall that is a big hit to DiVincenzo and Jordan Poole and Clay because Clay's cap is much higher now. Like all of those guys, except for Draymond, probably it's probably good.
It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out when like Curry's back because like before Curry got injured, like they were like really searching for a bench and they were like hurting really bad besides like Jordan Poole. And for like about like a week and a half, DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green had kind of established themselves as like the only productive, like dependable people off the bench. Right now, it's kind of like too early for DiVincenzo because he's just going to get a hit and his cap needs to kind of like go down. But like it'll be interesting to see how that rotation shakes out now that like people like Lamb and those like are kind of like competing for way less minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm fascinated to see what that rotation is going to look like. But yeah, you're right. You probably can't play many of those guys. I don't think that means you have to like fire sell them or anything.
No.
Somebody was at, we got Trent Jr. or Terry Rozier. I can pull those up, but if you guys have any thoughts on either of those fellas.
Without looking, I would say Terry, but
yeah. Me too. I just need to see Rozier's cap.
It's less than it's actually less than Terry.
Without question. I think Trent Jr. is like projecting too high because he's had like some good games and
he's like he needs to get steals. He needs to get 3 steals and like hit a bunch of threes.
Right. And that's it's so dependent on how many points he gets, like actual points. He's not going to pick up a lot of peripheral stats, which sucks. Josh Ness was saying, pick 2 out of these, Sabonis, Tatum, or Luka. I mean, I think.
Damn. You fitting 2 of these in a lineup?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Tatum or Luka?
I feel like it's just Tatum and Luka.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say Sabonis over Tatum, just because Sabonis has been doing like 25, 10, and 8 every game.
It should be pick 1, Sabonis or Tatum. Like who's whatever. I guess Luka is like has an injury.
No, lock Luka.
Yeah.
Did we asking about Josh Giddey? Yeah, we can pull up Giddey. I did not look at him. I feel like he's always in the middle of the road, and I don't play him. So he's got a cap of 33 and a projection of 31.5. So there you go on Giddey. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Many guys in the low 20 are interesting. Which are the 2 front runners of these? Najee Marshall, it's him. Jalen McDaniels, Derek White, Tyus with or without Ja. Najee Marshall has looked awesome with no Zion. He's had like back-to-back 22 plus point games. I don't know anybody of those
I like Raji too. Like if he's one of those guys that he'll be very aggressive and like he can he gets the ball, he takes a lot of shots. I don't know.
He's locked into minutes right now too, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Jalen McDaniels, is that the one from the Hornets?
I believe so. Yeah, because Jaden's.
I think they have some guys missing right now.
Yeah. So he's got a cap of 23, projection 25, right? Because Gordon Hayward is missing, I think.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good play.
Yeah, there you go. There's your two. Those are the two front runners. Although, I mean, I actually on all of these guys too, because Derek White's going to project well too. I don't know. CST, do you have a lean?
Derek White, like if we're just talking this game week, they have 3 games and like he's projected starting right now already. So it depends. I would kind of maybe take that swing as one of the two. Probably Najee the other. He stole like all of like Willie Hernangomez's upside.
So, yeah, seriously.
Which hurts me having his rare, but
so I think you're right about that. Derek White on 3 games. I think you have to play him.
Yeah. I mean, like it depends. Are you like, is this a buy situation or like you own these 4 guys and you're just like smashing with who you got in your gallery?
Yeah, you just get like all the best 20 guys.
It's like
yeah,
I got him.
Especially if they don't play Brogdon all 3 games, man, and like Smart misses at least 2 of these games, like Derek White is gonna crush. Yeah, someone was asking about Russ too. If you have Russ is a phenomenal play with no LeBron. The only thing that could like scare you away is that you get absolutely waxed, right? Are they playing Denver tonight, I think? So that could be a concern. But no, if you have Russ, don't even ask that question. Just lock and load. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. I'm going to remind the people. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a little break so I can build my rare squad so I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. But just a reminder, like the stream, subscribe. We got 116 entrants, over 150 people watching. Get that up there. All right, here we go. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm honestly very upset with how things have been going with my rare contending lineups here. I just took a good old dookie over the weekend, but I think I know what we're going to do here. We're going to start with our man, Toscano Anderson. We're going to play him again. I was ready to sell him, but he didn't actually pump. I thought he was going to pump quite a bit with that news, but he didn't. All right, so
I got 6th place in the rare contender last week.
Did you really? What was the reward for that?
Tier 1 by half point or something, or 2 points.
Oh, that's brutal.
I didn't even get a great reward. I got Anthony Simons. I mean, no,
Anthony Simons
6 out of like 3,000 people.
Yeah, and you give me a Simons. That is, oh God, that's tilting. All right, so I'm starting with JTA, and then I'm going to go right here next because the Pelicans have 2 games, and Trey Murphy is going to continue to break my heart, but I'm going to continue to play him, I think.
He's been doing that for me too.
Yeah, but his cap's at 24. I've seen him get to 50. Like, I got to do it. And then I think Franz is going to be next in there with a couple of games. He's at 32. And then you just go Bruce Brown, Jaden Ivey here, and then call it a day? Because like
or you go Draymond
and like,
yeah, I don't really like Dwight Powell on that score.
Yeah, I know. And then like Muscala is so risky. Utah's only got 1 game. And I think even Draymond with 1 game makes me nervous too, especially after that weird ending to the Magic game. So
yeah, I think Brown and Ivy is pretty safe.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's the squad. I feel like I'm such a fish of getting like that CJ McCollum, and then I like can't even use him. But it's like, we're slowly building. All right, let me fill out this. This is what I'm going to delete it and we'll build it from scratch. You're playing LeBron, right? You're playing LeBron, and if you have him in a champ, even though he's missing the first game,
I would play him. It's either you're playing him or Sabonis. I'd probably play LeBron on 1.
Yeah. I was going to try to play both of them, but I think I'm actually like Fred VanVleet's cap so high too. Who would be your guys' next plug?
I don't think you can play Sabonis because like say he gets a 60, it's +8. Like I don't know.
That's true. That is true.
You really have to hit your low guys like really hard if you're gonna waste 52 points on not waste, but that's
no. So you think like a balanced build here? You'd go like
I go pretty balanced for you.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't go anything till the 30s at least.
The highest guy I would even consider playing is probably Kuzma, maybe Murray.
Kuz with 2 is kind of nice. And then I have some like Killian Hayes with 2 games.
That's good.
I like quite a bit. Intrigued by Simmons with 1 game, but I'm also nervous.
I was so nervous, but I was building. I had 25 left, and I was like, fine, I got to do it.
Yeah, I don't love it. Like I go Simmons and Okongwu.
It'd be nice if you could get to Barnes.
Let's see. Let's just do it. Let's throw Barnes in there.
Or Murray, definitely.
Is Murray 34? All right. So down here, what do we have? What do we have down here? Mathurin on 1 game, Noel on 1 game. Actually, Zach Collins.
Zach Collins, actually. I think he should be projecting well.
Yeah, I think so too. And that leaves me with 4 if I wanted to get up from Hayes to Okongwu. I actually think I like Hayes better than both of these guys.
Zach Collins is projecting exactly at a 19.
Hey, listen, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think on 2 games though, and like they don't have Vassell or Keldon.
Yeah, and it's the Spurs. So at any given time, Pop could be like, you know what? We're also sitting the rest of the team.
I actually like Trey Jones going forward, but I think his cap is a little bit high.
Yeah,
Porto also might end up sitting one of the games because I think he's in, but he's like it's an Achilles thing. They tend to address that.
His L10 is really low.
Yeah.
All
right, let me see what else we got over here. Kid Nick saying, what do you think about this looks good, man. I also like when people are like, what do you think about Luka, Jokic, and Sabonis? Yeah, that sounds great. You got those 3 guys in.
There is one guy.
Does this work?
He rolls that out almost every week. Like he has he rolls out like 3 like really, really high caps, and then he always finds like the 2 cheat codes, and he's been crushing.
Oh my God, that's incredible. That's a great, Kid Nick, do it. Especially because Pritchard, I mean, I'm a little bit more nervous about Jabari than I am Pritchard, but I mean, if you get, 70 plus from 2 of those guys, you're in pretty good shape. Is Portis playing? Yeah, I hadn't seen anything about Portis. We can look him up quickly. We got him down with a cap of 30 and a projection of 29. So there you go.
I think that cap is pretty high.
It is pretty high. Scotty against Charlotte. Yeah, everybody likes Scotty, which means he's about to lay an egg. Siakam or LeBron with 1 game, guys, says Bobby. Man, Siakam has that Charlotte matchup too. God, I don't know.
Wait, Siakam has 2 games. Why is he saying 1 game?
I think he's saying Siakam or
LeBron with 1 game.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Learning to read over here.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I kind of like Siakam here, which sounds stupid because of how
Siakam doesn't feel as good of a play as a lot of these like top guys, but he's been producing like.
Yeah.
Him pre-injury was crazy.
He was like a lot of people were like getting away with him in the MVP and like still winning.
Jonas is asking Highsmith or Orlando Robinson, dude. You flip a coin. Orlando Robinson is projecting a lot better than Highsmith, but it is the Miami Heat, and they like to mess around with their roster. So, Godspeed, man. And let's see what else we got here. We see Gnome in the chat. What's up, Gnome? Best play for 22 maximum. All right, here we go. Scrolling down here, we got Vando, Robert Williams, who I do like Robert Williams at 22. I'm going to like him more next week, but Herb Jones, I don't think so. There you go. Najee down here. I don't know. Anybody in this range stick out to you guys?
I think Pirtle's on a 20.
No, he's on 25.
He was on 20 last week, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Zubac's pretty good.
Yeah.
Zubac,
he almost had a
Zubac's 1 game I don't like though, because he's like he's one of those guys that's like this.
Matchups too, like sometimes they're just like they're gonna like go small all game. Sometimes, it's tough.
I like Isaiah Stewart with
Beef too. That's another good one. All right, Luke is asking George Yang or Seth Curry. That's got to be Curry, right? Especially if we think Embiid might be back, Tucker's back.
I like Seth Curry.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? Ransom Reed saying, "Don't play Highsmith, never." All right, Ransom. Mike, did you see my KD situation yesterday? Yeah, I replied to that. That sucks. He had just traded for KD as the injury happened. That's brutal. Tom's asking best play around 34. We can go scroll around 34. Here we go. We get Jamal Murray. We were talking about him. He's got a cap of 34, the projection of 37.5. Rudy's also projecting pretty well here. And
he always projects well, though.
You know what, Rudy though, like I hate Rudy, but he's had a couple like pretty big double doubles in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but it feels gross. It's a gross click. It's a gross click. All right, listen, I got 10 minutes left. We got 10 minutes left. So this is a 10-minute warning. Get some more questions in. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag TST. We need to get 51 more people here to get this to a rare situation. Okay. We're giving away a limited tier, but if we get to 200, 51 away, we'll make it a rare.
You can have the sub 34. Tyrese Maxey's like Tyrese Maxey 32.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
That's a nice one.
I didn't even realize Maxey was.
I bought him like because I saw that his score was going to be dropping with like the minutes restriction, and then like hopefully whenever Harden misses time or whatever, he's going to be a great play.
Yeah, that's a great.
Even
call.
with him beat out, like he kind of gets a little boost, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a rare Maxey because I finished third in rare contender, and it was right when Harden got injured, so his price went crazy, and then like.
Yeah,
the person behind me got Siakam, and the person ahead of me got Tatum. I was like, really?
I watched your video on that. That's crazy. The person behind you got Tatum.
Or it might have been ahead of me and behind with Siakam, but I know that I was sandwiched between Tatum and Siakam. I'm like, man, brutal.
Yeah, one week I won a tier 1 super rare, and I looked at the list, and Tyler Hero was on there, and I was like, please no. Like,
oh no,
I got Zion, so it worked out, but.
God, I would have lost my mind.
It goes the other way too, because one time I got a tier 3 and I got Devin Vassell.
Oh wow!
Because it was during when there was that crash of the crypto market.
Oh,
and I've gotten like a tier 4 like AJ Griffin, and like, so it can go both ways for sure.
Yeah, I forget what I got. This week I think I landed like a Baisley and Markieff Morris. I got excited for a hot second. I was like, it's Markieff season, baby.
I also like a couple weeks back.
Yeah, that was one of the best where I was like, honestly, guys, I think Markieff is the play. He's going to play. And then he didn't touch the court on Friday. And I looked like such a fool. And then on Saturday, that was the day where they're like, hey, we're resting KD, Kyrie, Benson. They set the whole squad. Markieff went for like 40.
I had him that week and I didn't play him, obviously.
yeah, because you were smart. Like that was actually the right thing to do. Also, Franz Wagner too, I think with the cap of 32 is solid. I don't know, maybe his ceiling's not as high as someone like Maxey, but I feel like he's got a pretty safe.
I like him too. He's been really good this year, like in real life and in SORARE.
Yeah. Yeah, that they're going to be
him and Mo both. I've seen some lineups that just roll out both Wagners and they're just crushing like week after week.
That should get an extra XP boost if you play relatives. You get. Yeah. I saw there was somebody put in the chat earlier. They want to try. I think it was Mike Boston. He said, "I want to do like a contender lineup that's all juniors." I was like, "All right, hell yeah, let's go." Scary Terry or Wendell Carter Jr. That has to be Terry. I mean, I like Wendell Carter Jr., but that's got to be Terry.
What's Carter's cap at though right now?
I don't think it's that low. It's 28.
Okay.
And Terry is better. What? Terry is 27. Yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. has been nice. Like I think last night he put up or the last game he put up 13 and 13, something like that. Like he's not going to kill you, but I mean if you're like Terry scored 39 real points the other day. I don't know.
Yeah. Rozier's he has a really high ceiling. Like, I think he's almost always a good play unless his score has just gone up crazy.
Yeah, but that a cap under 30, I mean, that's great. All right, here we go. Josh is saying, what do we got here? Draymond Green, 7+ bonus. What do you mean? It's a 7%.
We're talking
bonus?
Experience points here.
Okay, or Michael Porter Jr. I believe the Nuggets have 2 games and the Warriors only have 1, correct? Yeah, so Draymond, they've got 1 game. He's got a cap of 27, basically projection of the same. Cap of 28, projection of 29, but they have 2 games. I don't know. I'm too hurt from what Draymond did to me this weekend, so I'm hitting the Michael Porter Jr. button, I think.
Yeah, I'd go Michael Porter Jr. there.
Yeah.
Also, Connor, that lineup I wish I had instead of my common chip.
Rolling out. So Connor's rolling out Scotty Barnes, Bane, DeAndre Ayton, Portal, and Luka. Wow.
That's like shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might pick that if I could choose from every card.
I do like that he said any chance. Yeah, I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance. You have Luka. I think there's a chance. Roji's asking about Josh Richardson. That Spurs situation is always bizarre. I believe they said he's questionable, but I thought I saw tonight that he's good to go. Let me actually refresh my injury news over here to see if anything else came in. What do we got here? Yeah, so Josh Richardson will play. I mean, I don't know. We've seen him off the bench do some stuff, and with no Keldon and Devin Vassell, I
like Branham. He's not the same cap, but yeah, as far as the Spurs guys.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think Richardson's fine there. I wish his cap was a little bit lower, but Branham, so he's not projecting as well, but I agree, man. I think they like Branham.
His score has come up. He was down under 10, I think.
Yeah, I still think I like him a lot. I was watching the Celtics Spurs game, and he looks nice. Like, he looks like he's going to be a solid player. I know, yeah, Thomas says that people are nervous about Giannis after that, like, 9-point performance this weekend. He's playing at MSG tonight. I imagine he's going to go bonkers.
I'm choosing him for my common champion when I have like the choice of many.
There we go.
Of those top ones. So I imagine.
What happened in that low scoring game? Did he get hurt or?
I think they gave up 51 points in the first quarter, and I think Budenholzer was like, "Fuck it, we'll come back tomorrow." It was like alarming to see that against the Hornets, though. Like, the Hornets putting up 51 is nuts. Jamie was asking, what are the chances that Luka misses both games? I don't even think he's going to miss one game. I'm pretty sure Luka's going to be. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be back.
The Bucks have 3 games too, right?
Yeah, the Bucks are one of the teams.
You have to play Giannis on 3.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, Wiseman, I think, is hurt right now, Marcus. So I don't think we're going to see Wiseman I don't think it's like a severe injury, but I think he's missing a little bit of time. What else we got? Turner versus Giddey and LeBron versus LaMelo. Actually, that's kind of interesting. I would have just said LeBron, no doubt, but with 2 games of LaMelo versus.
No, I'd take LaMelo for 2 games.
Yeah.
He's been just getting to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he really, I mean, there's no the offense is LaMelo now. It's what LaMelo wants to do.
He doesn't have a long leash. He is off leash. Like, he can literally do anything he wants.
The one thing I will say, though, like, I feel like we've seen him just do 24 and 12, 27 and 12. Like, we've seen a lot of that from him, where like LeBron can go 30, 10 and 10. So I don't know, but probably LaMelo's safer here. I don't know. What would you do there, Adam?
I think it's close. I mean, yeah. LeBron's probably slight edge, but then 2 games probably evens it out for me.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So Turner's going to cap at 33. Wow, they have the same exact thing. Yeah, dude, that's I'd go Giddey because they have 2 games, I guess.
I would honestly go with LaMelo just based on the fact that I think there's less cards out there. So if you hit on LaMelo, like, you just
that's a good call.
Separate yourself from the field slightly more.
I like that. That is a great call. Hell yeah, you and I'm going to share this just because you called him Big Honey. Jokic versus Luka and Bron versus Tatum. Is that so? Are you picking 2 of those or Luka verse and man, I love Jokic. I know they only have a couple games. I think you still have to take Luka over Jokic right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then I guess I would take Tatum has 3 games. I would take Tatum too. I would take Tatum over Bron.
I think I'd just always take Tatum over Bron.
Yeah. He's fun. Melton or PJ Washington or Allen? I'm assuming, is that Grayson Allen?
That's a wild cap difference.
No, it's going to be Jared Allen. All right.
There we go.
So PJ is a cap at 30 and projection at 30. Melton, they're right above him. All right, so Melton is not projecting very well. I'm assuming that's because they're slowly getting people back. And then who was the last one? Oh, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen, we think.
Yeah, cap at 30. Oh, all right. So Allen projects a little bit better. They're right next to each other. So there you go. That's the projection. I kind of like PJ, but PJ's been only doing one thing. He's just been scoring. He hasn't been doing much besides that. So
I don't know. He had some doubles under his belt. As someone that has rode PJ Washington to a lot of rewards.
All right, there you go. All right, last one. This is gonna be the last one. Then I gotta wrap up and get out of here. So pick 2: DeJounte 1 game, Drew Holiday 3 games, Wiggins 1 game. Well, all right. I'm just gonna pick them based on how many games they have. I think.
DeJounte's been breaking my heart for weeks now too. So I'm going Drew over him, and
he's been taking a back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just do Holiday and Giddey here.
I imagine the Bucks, they sit Giannis on back-to-backs, or it's like kind of iffy.
Yeah, it has been iffy. He has had a couple of times, but yeah, I would just take the shot there on that.
You probably have to play Drew 3 games.
I think so. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it there because I gotta get out of here, and I gotta fill in all 7,000 training lineups before we leave. Last call though, like the stream, subscribe, #TST. Adam, dude, thank you for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely do this again. It was nice. The 3-man weave was nice. I enjoyed the 3-man weave. TST, you got anything? Well, actually, before we do that, Adam, can they follow you anywhere? Anywhere they on Twitter?
You can follow me on Twitter at SORARE NBA Squad, and you can follow my YouTube. I will be making videos at some point, so if you want to go ahead and follow and subscribe, there'll be some content coming.
There you go. TST, what you got coming down the pipeline?
I'm hoping to get some videos out today, but that's based on whether or not my setup gets taken down because I got to home stage this place and sell a house. So if not, make sure you follow me on Twitter because I'll put out some stuff on Twitter if I can't get the videos up and going this week.
Yeah, awesome. And if you were new to this, if this is your first time, thanks for hanging out. We do this for each game week start, right? So we do it on Mondays and Fridays at 5:30. Our guy Noam joins us on Fridays. We do a daily NBA show Monday through Friday. We do some value hunting on Mondays and Wednesdays typically. There's a lot of shit. So just subscribe, come hang out, join the Discord, do all those things. We are going to spin this. If you win, shoot me a DM either on Twitter at Mike Zakarian or over in our Discord, and I will get you. We didn't hit rare. We got up to 160 again tonight. Didn't get to 200, so it's going to be a limited. And if you win, shoot me a DM. And as always, thanks for tuning in. This show's been a lot of fun. Appreciate everyone being here. And shout out our guests, TST and Adam, for joining us. We got Tom ASDF. Tom ASDF. Congrats on the W. Shoot me a message. Best of luck to everybody. For SORARE NBA Squad, for TST, I'm Mike. Thanks for joining.